This is lesson 143, solving equations. 5 pennies equals 1 nickel, right? So 5p equals 1n. We call this an equation because both sides are equal. Let's look at your yellow box. An equation is a mathematical sentence that uses the equal symbol to show that two expressions are equal. Sometimes an equation contains an unknown number that is usually represented by a letter of the alphabet. Step 1. Solve the side without the unknown number and write the answer below. Rewrite the side with the unknown number. And see, that's what they've done here in the example. N plus 5 equals 6 times 3. They solved this side because it did not have the variable. So n plus 5 equals 18 because 6 times 3 is 18. Step 2. To solve for n must be left all alone. That's what you want to do. You want to get your variable alone on one side of the equal. Therefore, subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. Whatever is done to one side of an equation must also be done to the other side of the equation. That's the only way to keep it equal on both sides, is to do the equal operation on both sides of the equal. So look here. They did n plus 5 minus 5 equals 18 minus 5. Because n plus 5, the only way to get rid of this 5 is to subtract 5. You have to do the opposite operation of what's done here. And so since I subtracted 5 on this side of the equals, because I wanted this to be 0 so I could get n alone, I had to subtract 5 on this side of the equals. So then I got rid of this, that's 0, n equals 13, because 18 minus 5 is 13. Step 3. Check the answer by rewriting the original equation, substituting the answer for n, and solving. Both sides of the equation should have the same number. So this is the only way you can be sure that you did it correctly. You have to take your original equation and substitute what you got for the answer of your variable into the original equation. So n equals 13. Now I'm going to take that 13, I'm going to put it where n was, and n was right here. So I just rewrote it, substituting 13 for n. 13 plus 5 equals 6 times 3. Is that correct? I want to know. It is, because 13 plus 5 is 18, and 6 times 3 is 18. And so I know that I did it correctly because both sides are equal. And I know you did this last year in 3rd grade, so this sort of review for you. Finish these equations. The first one is worked completely. So they did this one for you. N plus 2 equals 12 divided by 3. They solved this side without the variable first. N plus 2 equals 4. Now, because 2 is added to n, we need to subtract 2. We need to do the opposite operation of addition, which is subtraction, so we can get n all alone on one side of the equals, because we want to find out what n equals. That's the whole point. So now we have n plus 2 minus 2 equals 4 minus 2. Why did we have to subtract 2 here? Because we did it on this side. In order for it to stay an equation, meaning both sides are equal, we have to subtract 2 on this side as well. So then we get rid of this. We have n alone, and 4 minus 2 is 2, so n equals 2. But we still need to check by taking what n equals and substituting it into the original equation for n. So 2 plus 2 equals 12 divided by 3. See how this is our original equation? And I just substituted 2 for n. 2 plus 2 is 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 4 equals 4. Now B, they started it for you. N minus 3 equals 8 times 2. What is 8 times 2? We need to put that there. And then they said n minus 3 plus 3. They did the opposite operation. They added 3 because the 3 is subtracted here. And then they have to do the same thing here. And then n equals. So try to fill in these blanks. Okay, pause the video for a minute. try to do 2a. And this is what you should have gotten. N plus 6 equals 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. N plus 6 minus 6 equals 16 minus 6. N equals 10. 10 plus 6 equals 4 times 4. I substituted 10 into the original equation, and 16 equals 16. So 2b, well, your first step is solve the side without the variable. 7 plus 11 is 18. Your second step is try to get n by itself. So I need to do the opposite operation. I need to subtract 2 from both sides. I get n equals 16. Then I substitute 16 in for n in the original equation. 16 plus 2 is 18. 7 plus 11 is 18, so I'm correct. Now C, I have to solve the side without the variable first, and 21 minus 4 is 17. And then I have to do the opposite operation of subtracting 8 from n. I need to add 8 so I can make this a 0 and get n alone. And then I have to do the same thing on the other side. And always write your steps below. I know it's tempting to just do it in your head, but once you get into more difficult algebra, then that's not going to help you. You'll make errors. So it's always best to write out each step. So then I get n alone, and 17 plus 8 is 25. So I know n is 25, but I want to check my work, so I substitute 25 into the original equation. 25 minus 8 is 17, and 21 minus 4 is 17. Yay! Matt wanted to buy his father a nice birthday present. He had $27.50 to spend. He found a Bible that had originally cost $25 but was 1/5 off. How much money did he have left after buying the Bible? So the first thing I need to do is I need to find out what is 1/5 of $25. What is 1/5 of $25? So 1/5 of 25 is the same as 1/5 times 25 over 1. I can cancel. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 over 1 is $5. So it's $5 off the original price. But that's not only what they're asking me. They want to know how much money did he have left after buying the Bible. Well, I know the new cost of the Bible will be $25 minus $5, which is $20. So now I know the Bible cost $20, but he had $27.50. So $27.50 minus $20 is $7.50. So I know he'll have $7.50 left over. Jackie weighs 27 kilograms and her brother weighs 35 kilograms. How much less does Jackie weigh than her brother? So less will tell me I need to subtract. So 35 minus 27 is 8. Jackie weighs 8 kilograms less than her brother. Divide and check. This is what you should have gotten for 4a. This is what you should have gotten for 4b. You don't have to do 4c. Follow the signs. And this is what you should have gotten. A, E, G. You didn't have to do these. And then here you had to find equivalent fractions, and 12 was a good denominator to use for a common denominator. So 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9, and then you had to add these up, and you should have gotten 204 and 10/12, which then you reduced to 5/6, so 204 and 5/6. And then H, first you had to use a common denominator, which would have been 66, 6 times 11. And then you realized you can't subtract 12 from 11. So you had to borrow from your whole number here, and you had to add 66 over 66, which was the 1 you took away from the 23. So now you have 22. And when you added 66 over 66, which I didn't write, you would have gotten 77 over 66 because 66 plus 11 is 77. Now you can subtract. And 22 minus 9 is 13. And 77 minus 12 is 65 over 66. And now you have some more temperatures to write in. So you should have gotten 25 degrees Celsius, 96 degrees Fahrenheit, 41 degrees Celsius, and 69 degrees Fahrenheit, and you don't have to do the extra practice.